Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The New Nasty Boys. I'm your co-host this morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you decide to watch or listen to this thing, Billy DeVore. And sitting next to me is my co-host,
Chris Weir. What's up, Nasty Nation, and welcome back to the Fart Dungeon. Woo! We're back. It's been a minute.
We're in it, and dude, I'm telling you, it's amazing how these walls recover.
I know. We actually did have the grounds crew come in earlier and hose it down.
Yeah.
You know, they're going through their winter protocol. So, all the wheels are turning here.
Sure. They brought in their quick dry and their rakes.
Yeah, they had to do that. Had their booties on, came down here, had all the hazmat people roll through here. So now we're working on a fresh layer for the season, but it's not the season yet. It's just winter.
No, we're still winterizing down here, and I'm happy to tell you, I ate properly to make sure that we can get the grounds crew working more again.
Are you gonna flush it out?
Dude, I'm gonna flush them right the fuck out. They're gonna come down here like, what happened?
You're gonna choke it and press it out. Choke it and blow it.
Choke, blow, move on, dude. Sorry, Eduardo, you're gonna get some skids.
Yeah, buddy, you are going to have your work cut out for you. Extra gloves.
Extra gloves. Oh shit! Did you know you can get you can order from Scott's, like the grass company?
Yes.
Yeah. You can order Great American Ballpark grass.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I really want to do that to the yard, but then it's just I'm overpaying for grass that I don't want to cut.
What is the type of grass they have? Do you know? Is like a certain brand type that they have? But I just find that's kind of odd that they just have that available for you.
Yeah, it's just Scott's. Like, it is Scott's. It's a certain seed. I have no idea.
Okay.
Grass type. I'm not a grass aficionado.
I just wasn't quite sure. It's like the upper echelon grass. Like normally we don't do this for common folk.
Yeah, but you're a season ticket holder, so
yeah, these are like artificially made seeds. It's kind of like labradoodles. We kind of created in a lab for you.
It probably is some kind of cross blend between like bluegrass and then I don't know, crabgrass.
Could be something like that.
How many types of grass do you know?
17. We do not have time for it, though.
Yeah, it's an indica sativa blend. It's like different grass.
Yeah, this is your OG hybrid right here. This is your Florida floodwaters.
Florida floodwaters. Yeah. This is Sasquatch's dick.
It's thick and rank.
Thick, rank, and it's hard to find.
Mm-hmm. Well, I might look into that, Scott's. Just stepping up my yard game for grass.
Yeah, I mean, well, you've got a whole hill to do in a front yard. I have just like that little back patch, and then that front that the dream is to just till it and then just put a bunch of ferns. So then that's it. I don't have to cut that hill.
Or we've taken another step with Scott's. Instead of getting the grass for it, let's get a pitcher's mound.
Ooh!
They got to have that too, right?
I don't know if they're the official dirt supplier of the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
But I would have to assume they got some lying around.
Don't get me started on dirt, all right? Grass, I contained myself. We start talking dirt.
Dude, oh, buddy.
We're getting our hands dirty.
Well, come on.
I'm sorry. It was a little weak.
Hey, don't you dare apologize.
Sorry. It's winter ball for us right now.
You're in mid-season form with that one.
Oh, cut it out.
You beat me to it. Come on. So, we've had a little bit of a break, we needed it because it's just, there's not a lot There's not a lot happening day to day because they aren't playing. But then at the same time, there is stuff that has happened. So it's like, you know what? We deserve a little break. There's no need for us to come on here and be like, 10 best middle relievers in Reds history.
Let's just start naming random backup catchers. Go.
Yeah. I love flipping through other baseball media, alt media, and being like, they're just pulling from anywhere. They're like, all-time leaders in WAR of people who are from Curacao. And just the other guy on the microphone's like, fuck, Ozzy Albies. And they're like, and that's it.
Well, fortunately for us, we can talk about things other than baseball because half of this crew here knows very little about it. So I can spin a yarn about yarn.
Yeah. Oh, how many different types of yarn you know about?
Jeez, Pete's, buddy. This is gonna be for the Patreon here, okay? If you want thick wool, oh my God, we're gonna get into it.
Oh, I love a good thick poly blend wool.
Oh, it's really great because you wear those hiking. It's awesome.
Yeah.
They can dry out pretty easily. Don't got to worry about wet toe.
Not as scratchy. I have a big wet toe problem. It's just from walking around, you know,
Yeah.
normal day to day.
Just wet toe, just dipping it in the mud too much.
I guess you could say that, or I could just say socks and standing.
Ooh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
That's a nasty combination there. You don't want to get fungus in the feet there.
No, you don't. You don't.
What do you do the thing like we do for gloves? Cut the toes, cut toe holes out for you.
Yeah, then my feet look homeless.
Yeah, and your toes start flipping a coin.
Well, it makes sense. I do call my feet the wet bandits.
Ooh.
Come on.
I already started watching. I was watching Home Alone the other day. I'm getting into it this Christmas season.
Oh, you are? How many? Wait, how many? So you watched what? You watched Home Alone? Did you watch Home Alone 2?
No, that's going to be on the docket, though. But that's one of those you're going to put on and just not pay attention to it. It's fun-ish, but I don't get the same nostalgia hit like I do for Home Alone 1. Home Alone 2's for cooking or folding presents. I like folding presents.
Yeah, I love folding presents.
Yeah, but I've listened to the Charlie Brown Christmas album probably 3 times so far.
Whoa, you are in the spirit.
I really like Vince Guaraldi Trio, pretty tight. So I mean, you can listen to some Charlie Brown jams year round if you want to.
Okay.
But yeah, I've put that on. Just in the background music, just listening to it.
So I've been listening to Kelly Finnegan's A Joyful Sound. So if you want like some soul, Kelly Finnegan is a part of the Coal Mine record label.
Okay.
Out of Loveland, Plaid Room Records.
Oh.
Seen him once in concert, fantastic. And then he put out a Christmas album, and I was like, well, this is it. Mm-hmm. Just that and Louis Armstrong, dude.
Okay.
Is that you, Santa Claus?
That's not in my rotation, but I have heard that one a couple times. I mean, just hearing his voice is so fun to do. And it's not racist because it's just no one sounds like him.
Yeah, it just sounds like you're putting Zatarans in a blender.
Yeah, it's just, are you gargling gravel back there? What is going on?
I'm just eating worms. It's just so fun to say anything.
Get it checked out, okay?
That's what happened, man. It's a wonderful voice. And when he ends the song, it sounds like he's just so tired. It's a lot to just push through with the gravel in the throat, probably a couple chicken bones.
Yeah, that handkerchief. Check that thing for blood. He might have TB. I'm pretty sure.
That tie used to be white. And at the end of the concert, all red.
Yeah, what's going on? At least let him, they give him a dirty trunk, they give him the fucking plunger, but they don't wash it off first. He's getting some fungus in his lungs there. He's got HPV in his throat.
Hard pressure vocals. Mm-hmm. That's what it stands for.
There we go.
Dude, yeah, I
blow out your spit valve.
Hey man, someone get him a Z-Pack. He's got a sinus infection.
For sure.
That's what he died of. Did you know that?
He didn't have Mucinex.
Mucinex, he didn't have it. He didn't have that. He didn't have the oh my god, the nose bidet.
Oh yeah, we got one of those.
They work great.
Yeah, Lauren uses that a lot.
I want to get the Navage.
Oh, I've heard those commercials. It isn't really weird that the guy that says that has a nasal thing.
Yes.
He says it's not. He says Navage.
Yeah. When they used to have it on 1530 and on the radio, I would just be in my car. You'd be like, Navage. I'd be like, fucking Navage.
Say it correctly and I'll buy it.
I'll buy it. I'll spend the money. Dude, and so I would just scream, oh, Navage, to no one. Yeah, on 71.
But it's like, dude, if you're going to be advertising that, at least sound like you have a clear throat.
Yep. Or,
makes no sense.
Or it's the reverse advertising where it's just like, oh man, he sounds like shit. He needs Navage, and he's probably in with some Navage gambling sharks and has to continue to do these ads until he's allowed to get a Navage or paid.
Yeah, and then they give him back his kids.
We're gonna re-deviate that septum, bud. You keep reading those ads. You fucking pick it up. So, dude, it's crazy you bring up Christmas music. So my grandpa always told me, he's like, Christmas music, it's just the same 17 songs for the rest of your life. That's all it is. I hate it. So you don't hate Christmas music?
Certain ones are very, very irritating. I get the 17th because there is a cluster of songs that exist in that very, tight Christmas zeitgeist where it's just on rotation. If you have on radio, let it play, you're going to hear the same 5 songs in the span of 20 minutes.
Yeah, Jingle Bells, Little Drummer Boy. You're not going to hear Cold Outside anymore.
No,
Baby, It's Cold Outside?
Not as much, even though, I mean, whatever. I didn't really care for that one anyways, but it was
Sure.
kind of fun to sing to and be a little rapey with it. Baby, you should take your pants off. Because it was fun, you know?
What are the neighbors going to think? Who fucking cares? It's
The
the
neighbors
50s.
are gone, honey. No one can hear you scream.
Don't check the bottom of that drink.
Hey, baby, you should be getting drowsy right now.
You shouldn't be putting up a fight.
Hey, let's try this rope on real tight.
I'm surprised that Bill Cosby didn't cover that song.
Yeah, well, he did. Actually, he was the inspiration, I think, for that song, based on a true series of 47 stories.
That,
Supposedly.
allegedly that he's free. He's free now. Just
That is insane.
remember that.
Like, I forget that because I was like, is he free?
He's free. He's just out and about, dude. He's just in the world. He's just sitting at home with just foggy eyes and bad cataract surgery.
Just wall-eyed as ever.
Wide. The eyes are just slowly shifting left and right. He's like, oh, nope. I guess I'll just stay home.
Oh my God, he could go on Kill Tony
Oh my God.
for sure.
Do not give him that idea. Because
What is it? He's gonna be on Theo Vaughn's podcast. There's no doubt in my mind. If he were to just put out a tweet like "I'm coming back,"
yeah. Oh, and Elon will super boost the tweet.
absolutely. All he does is takes a photo of his sweater, and that's it. And people, are, it's happening. 2025.
It's coming.
Hide your daughters. Hide your wives. Lock your medicine cabinets. The cause is back.
We're all using Tervises because the top sealed.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't think of Stanley Cups, did you?
I can shoot him right through that little straw.
Oh my God, that'd be a great advertisement for Stanley Cups.
Be
Be for certain.
Cosby proof.
Cosby proof.
Well, I got the blue pill and I don't fit in the straw.
Yeah, and he was probably
Stanley.
using like big horse pills back then too.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. He was just taking out the cheese grinder and just doing this on the side.
Oh my God, that probably have been really difficult back then, where he's trying to like put that into actual like peanut butter and give it to someone, like put it on their drink. It's like, Bill, what is that? I can see that. That's not a garnish. That's it's a chalky olive.
Chalky olive. Yeah, with the peanut butter on it, like he's training a dog. Becky sit. Becky paw. Night night.
Well, I'm glad he's out for
am
Christmas
too.
season. Good for him.
I just keep thinking about going back to that sweater image back 2025 with just like a pill bottle open and then just spewing on top of the sweater.
Yeah.
Pretty great. I'm on board. And I mean, look, there's no such thing as canceling anymore. 2025 is going to be wild. Might as well let him go on tour, bring him out, and have William Montgomery be like a bomb in front of him. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, bring on all the other canceled comedians that you see all over Netflix, that you see all over television, all these canceled folks that are multimillionaires
Chris D'Elia.
that cannot get their voices out there.
No, they've been muted, dude. Come on.
It's crazy, and you see it all over social media, just about how they cannot communicate with people because of this cancel culture.
It's just so difficult.
I feel so bad for them. So yeah, Bill, if you're listening to this, which I know you are,
Oh, he is.
please come back out. Comedy Mothership. You're gonna find a nice home in Austin. Trust me on this.
Well, you know that his agent, when he was getting ready to get out, his agent was already trying to book him a tour.
Oh my God, of course.
You don't remember that, right?
I do not.
Yeah. He was like all the theaters, and they were like, no. So try it now. I wonder, like, if he could even mentally do it. That's a valid question.
That really is, because I did see him like years ago when I first started. He did have his faculties together, but it was still just like you're watching someone really old up there and you felt nervous when they were standing.
He's 87.
Oh, he's got some years.
He could do one more victory lap.
Yeah, he could.
He could totally do it. Tell some great stories. Mm-hmm. Maybe write a book. Well, have someone else write it, then read it to him. Be like, nah, to change that.
If he died on Kill Tony, that'd be amazing. Just add to the lore of that show.
Kill Bill Volume 3.
Kill Bill.
Yeah, come on. Mid-season form, dude. Good
baby.
Lord. Man, that joke had a real high OPS plus right there. Gassing it, dude. Gassing it. So I have an album on vinyl of Bill Cosby. It's called like Bill Cosby Covers. And it's him singing. He covers like Strawberry Fields.
No way.
Yeah, dude. Wild.
Is he a decent singer? I kind of imagine he would be. A lot of comics tend to be, good with their vocals.
Sure.
Is it good?
It sounds like Bill Cosby singing.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like it's just him trying to match a pitch with his wild, goofy voice.
Okay, and I can imagine like constantly just looking at like the record producer when he's singing. It's like, Bill, we're not filming this. This is all audio. Stop looking at me.
Yeah, and you need to stand up. We got to fill the lungs. You can't just sit there in that brown chair.
Okay, put down the pillbox. Come on.
Oh God, women, clear the room.
Get out.
Yeah, go, dude. So I need to put it on. I still have so many. I think I have like 6 Cosby vinyls.
I took 2 of them from my dad, and I had like a handful of like his old vinyls I just put up for wall decorations in college.
Yeah.
So I definitely had a couple Cosby albums like up on the wall for a bit. Speaking of Christmas albums, there was this one album my dad would always play.
Okay.
Going down the stairs, Christmas morning. It was called Tijuana Christmas.
Whoa. So it's just like a lot of girls with Santa hats throwing their tits.
That was for later.
Okay,
but no, it was all similar. Like it was all like a bunch of like it was brass, it was strings, it was completely not for the very white bread hill people that we were. It just didn't make sense.
How did he find it? Do you have any idea?
I don't know where he got it from, but I think it was just one of those things that was in the family for so long. And so that I just associate that song all the time with walking down the steps.
That's crazy. That doesn't sound like Tijuana. You think it'd be like a mariachi band or some shit.
I know, but we did what we could. You know, he got it for like 40 cents years ago.
Sure. Okay, that's like how Don Rickles' walkout song from when he would go on late night, like the bullfight, or when he would walk out on stage, like the bullfighting song. You know
vaguely.
Okay.
Here's.
Oh my God, Tijuana Christmas.
That's the album.
That's the whole thing. Oh, hold on, straight up, that guy on YouTube just puts the vinyl on and plays it and walks away.
Yeah.
Now I need to know how many views that has. So click it. Do it. Oh, 39,000 views.
Nice.
That's rad.
And I'm going to have to start adding to it.
Dude, yeah, you... Sorry, Lauren. It's a Tijuana Christmas.
And yeah, it's a Tijuana Christmas, a guy wearing a sombrero. It's the most stereotypical thing you would see.
Sure.
If you wanted to be impersonating someone south of the border. And it's snowing, and he's got mittens on, and there's snow coming down.
Because you know how it snows all the time in Tijuana.
Yeah, but it's fun and festive. But he's got Christmas ornaments in the trumpet.
Hey, it's Tijuana. It's always a white Christmas.
Yay! I got it all up top.
Come on, cocaine, baby. We're cutting up lines.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to listen to that when I get home.
Please do.
No, I'm going to listen to it tomorrow in the car. I'm going to have a Tijuana Christmas in the car.
And just, okay, when you first play the first song, just imagine, put yourself at the top of a young Chris Weir's steps.
I see it.
And it's him, his younger brother,
Okay.
and his dad. We're all wearing the exact same whitey-tighties outfit.
Of course.
Probably a dumb, Looney Tunes t-shirt.
Sure.
And then my dad's balls are hanging out of his whitey-tighties. There are numerous photos. Like, my mom would take photos of us at the top of the steps.
Yeah.
And there's several in our album where you can see my dad's balls. But when that first song would play, or whatever, you just hear this bass come in and the trumpets and all the weird...
That'd be funny if that's how he knew to put his balls away.
Yeah. Every time he hears trumpets, check the boys.
Oh, check out the boys. Okay. He's like, oh, that's a nice picture of the tree. Those ornaments are nice. Oh, there's a couple hanging down. Those are balls.
Yes, those are balls.
Those are balls. Oh, man. My dad would sneak, walking around in his tighty whities, and he'd look around. He's like, oh, and then he would look. He's like, ah, gotcha. I'm like, what the fuck?
What? You just pull
Prank
balls
it,
out?
just have one out,
Oh, you gotta love that.
That's where I get my testicular humor from.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my testicular pranks, if you will.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Because what was that? 2020, when we would like drink on my rooftop, or like there are a couple times where like the patio at Motor. Mm-hmm. Motor was closed during the pandemic, but Adam and Kate lived in that apartment, so they had access the whole time. And that was the short shorts era.
Ooh, of course.
So I'd go out and we'd just be like hanging out, and then I'd just be talking, and someone would turn away, and I just pull my nuts out, and they just keep talking. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, your balls are out."
It's like,
You got
that's
me.
a fun prank.
It's a good one. Now I get, can't get canceled for it now.
I had a friend that used to do this at like parties outside. You're hanging out in a circle together, drinking, and he thought it'd be really funny where he would secretly. Again, this is at a time where pulling your stuff out was more common than it is now.
Sure,
but it was normally like a campfire situation, dark out, and my buddy would unzip and then finagle out his unit, still be maintaining eye contact, and piss in the circle. And it'd always be just a delayed reaction. People like, what the fuck? What the and him just standing there. Always a riot.
That is great. Oh, man. Oh, I miss dick jokes. Sorry, dick pranks.
Yes, dick pranks.
Dick pranks are fucking great. Do you remember when, like, I think it was, like, what was that, around 2015, it starts shitty, then it gets better. My great-grandma died, and I had to go get, like, nice clothes. And Alicia has this photo of me in the dressing room where I've got my pants and the shirt on, and then I just have my dick over the pants with my balls out. and then I was like, you got to send that to me. She's like, sure. And then for a full solid, I think 2 years.
That was your Facebook profile?
Pretty close. No, Grinder. No, I had it pulled up. And I would look at people like, hey, what do you think of these new pants I got?
Does this match the belt?
And it just matches, and they just look and they go, oh, that's your dick.
That leather's really crinkly.
Oh my God. Huh, I didn't know that the khakis could be that pink.
Yeah, those khakis look really bumpy.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I did it for a solid year and a half, 2 years. Can't do it now.
Yeah.
I really wish I could. Man.
Did you ever get the photo that our buddy John Holmes sent us about the baked beans photo?
Oh, dude, the baked beans, and then not just the baked bean, then the vodka bottle.
I didn't see the vodka bottle.
Dude, I'm where I was, dude, I know exactly where I was when I got that photo. It was 2020. I was in Pendleton. I was standing in the street trying to order from Nation Kitchen and Bar, and I feel a buzz, and he goes, hey, something about pork and beans. I was like, okay, sure, man. And then I look down, and I'm like, oh, that is his dick. His erect penis next to a can of pork and beans. And in his defense, he said, this isn't just a normal size pork and beans. This is like the family size.
I was fortunate. I was at my house, and I got that sent to me. I was on the treadmill, and if I would have been out or something, I would have lost my mind. It is the most startling photo.
It's so much. It's just, it's just the contrast of a man's pimply dick next to Bush's pork and beans. And then you see the floor, and I'm like, you're clearly in your kitchen.
Yeah, put some shoes on.
I was like, I got a dick pic, a can of pork and beans, and feet. This is the
clean your floor.
It's the holy trinity.
It was too much. There was quite a hook to that can of beans, I'll tell you what.
And then the next photo was his dick next to a bottle of Northside Distilling vodka, which is like a short, really round bottle. And he's like, doesn't it look big? And I'm like, I know the size of that bottle. And then I get the third photo, which is the can of beans next to the bottle of vodka.
Oh, he should have done a Little King's bottle.
Oh my God.
That'll be next up on the docket.
Or just like one of those rolls of cans of tuna.
Yeah.
It's like, still look, I got about 4 cans worth of length here. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Oh, and he just sent it, and then he just sent it to so many people.
It's unabashed. Oh.
Dude, it was just firing it out. Like, I think at least 30 people now know what his dick looks like, and you can't unsee it. And it's been 4 years.
Yeah, it's still burnt in the back.
I know I could describe each ridge.
Yeah.
And the zit meets in the middle, and then it kind of corkscrews around.
Yeah, it dovetails left. At one point,
Yeah, oh my God, it looks like the 17th hole. Got just a nasty bend.
oh man, it's just a walking course
She's
though.
a dog leg, dude. Cart path only.
Yeah, cart path only, please. Stay in the fairway.
When was the last time this fairway's been irrigated?
Yeah, this is going to be more of a pitcher putter course.
I don't know whether there's a such thing as a par 2. short round.
Oh, that was
fuck.
lovely. Well, he needs to turn that into a Christmas card.
Oh.
For damn sure.
I bet he wanted to, and his wife was like, fucking no.
Yeah, that was the ultimatum. Just send it out to friends in a group text.
Yeah, that's it. You just talked him off the ledge. Dude, what if his Christmas card was just a picture of a can of pork and beans?
I'd still lose my mind. Just knowing exactly what could be just around the corner if you flip it.
Dude,
Like, don't open it!
well, it's Pavlov's bell. It's like when I see it, I'm like, it's his dick.
Yeah, I can't see a can of pork and beans anymore in the grocery store and not just start laughing.
Dude, I just see the Bush's label and I'm like, John's dick. It's fucking set. Over, dude. Oh,
and it's difficult to explain that to people. It's like, why are you laughing? My buddy's dick.
my buddy's
I
dick.
gotta look at a can of Bush's baked beans.
Oh, I threw away my phone.
Yeah. As soon as I got that text,
I'm done. Fuck. I don't need this anymore. Whew. I've got to have that photo somewhere.
yeah, I'm sure I still do. I'm not sure if I'm confident enough to scroll back that far and find it.
Yeah, I trust my iCloud that much that Tim Cook's like, well, look what we got here.
Oh, this is evidence for something.
This is something. I'm keeping this.
This is the Bush's recipe? Okay.
This is what that dog was sitting on the whole time.
This is the secret he was keeping?
Okay. Red Rocket. Red Rocket. Fuck. That we went from talking about Christmas music to John Holmes's dick.
Only a matter of time.
You know what? You can find that on the Patreon. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna find it. Someone, I think
We'll post it.
I sent it to a couple people too. I was like, if I'm seeing this, have you guys seen John's dick?
Yeah, it's like getting a photo of Bigfoot. Like you can't just sit on that.
No, it was, but the problem was it wasn't blurry.
No, not blurry.
He made sure when he stopped, he was like, I gotta get this.
Just as hairy, but not as blurry.
Not as blurry. Thrives in the Pacific Northwest.
It really does. Really keeps it, because it's nice and warm up here with all the extra hair he's got. Hair all the way up to the head. Crazy.
Also used to not seeing the sun.
Yeah.
It's totally fine with that. Mm-hmm. Fuck. God, oh, dude, I see it now. Ow, I get if I close my eyes, I see it. I open my eyes, I see it. We got to get off of this. Mm-hmm. We got to move on.
We can.
Whew. Okay. Let's start with, like, I don't know, the biggest free agency signing of our lifetimes. Well, up until this season, and we'll see what happens next year. Juan Soto, what is it, 19 years, $496 billion?
Something like that.
An absurd number.
Yeah, he owns the Empire State Building.
I was about to say, he now has Frank the Tank on retainer.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, like Steve Cohen put him in the contract. He's like, yeah, no. You get to put a leash on Frank the Tank and walk him around. We'll make that happen. I'm a gajillionaire.
Yeah, man. Good for him.
Good for, dude. I'm so over people who are like, oh man, that is just so much money. Baseball needs a salary cap. Shut the fuck up. If a player is getting paid that much, good for them.
Yeah, that's one of those peculiar things where it's just like that is what the market is dictating, and it's very hard for them to like negotiate something that would be less than that. You know, I don't think anyone would really be cool. I appreciate salary caps for teams and keeping like an even playing ground for the teams competing against each other. But when it's players competing against players for jobs, it's hard to really say, hey, no, you gotta bump that down a bit.
Yeah, when was the last time a 26-year-old went on the market who is entering their prime and they're already on a top 15, top 20 all-time player trajectory? Mm-hmm. That just Bryce Harper, A-Rod? Mm-hmm. One of those people used steroids, but the other two didn't.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what Mike Trout's seasons were like early on.
Yeah, but he got extended early.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a $525 million extension. Mm-hmm. He'll be there till he's like 41, I think.
Dang.
40, 41. But it's like, and then another thing, okay, so salary cap for teams, the salary cap will never happen. The players will never let it happen. My thing is the luxury tax is in place to help balance the playing field. The thing is, when they get taxed and then it gets dispersed to the other teams, it is then on that ownership group of every other team to use that money. Are they going to pocket it or are they going to use it? And that's where fan bases of like small market, middle market have to hold ownership in the front office accountable. But we don't ever get to know what that money is.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So there's 3 levels.
I know very little about that.
Okay. So they created a new luxury tax threshold. They call it the Steve Cohen level.
Okay.
Where he just blew past the second one. And the owners were like, dude, he's just going to keep going. And he's like, yeah. So they instituted another level. And with this, I wouldn't be shocked if in the next CBA or owners meeting, they put in like a 4th level.
Yeah. Well, it's going to eventually surpass something, or they do it like by percentages.
Yeah. So it's like, I forget what the exact numbers are off the top of my head, but it's like, if your payroll is over like 230 million, there's like 1 or 2, and it's like 255, and then I think the third is like 280. Off the top of my head, I don't have it written down, so I can't remember.
But like a gradual tax something,
right? So you pay like a 5, 7, 10% tax on that payroll, and then it's dispersed to teams that are all under that luxury tax.
I dig that.
So I think that is more effective than an actual cap, because then you're telling players you can't make any more. No. And anything that the team makes, because ownership doesn't have a cap. Right?
True.
So there's no maximum to what they can make, so why should there be one for the players?
I do like that sort of tax system where it then does get down to like the other players gets redistributed, because then it's just like, yeah, you can keep spending as much as you want, but we're going to try to like level that off a bit.
Yeah. We're gonna try and make it easier for other teams to compete. My thing with Juan Soto is his defense is bad.
Yeah, it's not good. When you think about it, you want to imagine him as this pure athlete that is really good, maybe like a 5-tool player, but then you watch him in the outfield, you realize it's not that.
No, his tool is doubles, walks, RBIs.
Yeah, great feel for the zone, tremendous hitter, but yeah, he just can't really field well.
Do you ever see him? I don't know if I see it, and I haven't followed him like I followed the Reds. I've watched a shit ton of Juan Soto. Can you see him being a 50 homer guy?
I don't think so. I don't want to say no, but I don't think he's going to thrive trying to hit home runs that much. I think he's really good at hitting doubles, staying back, just understanding the zone, taking the walks. I think if he's getting 50 home runs, he's going to be sacrificing a lot of on-base percentage. So I'm not sure. What was the highest he's gotten so far?
He hit 41 last year.
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, he could. He very well could.
Oh, dude. That porch and right isn't as short as it is in Yankee Stadium. So keep that in mind. But the other thing, dude, he's now, okay, he's just turned 26, right? He's already got 201 home runs. And so he started at 19, right? 2018, where he played 116 games. So then you go, now he's in his age 25 season, 41 homers. He's got 201 home runs over 7 years.
Yeah, he's just a nightmare, man. He's just so...
So you double that, 14. So add 7 more years, and that puts him at 32, and he could be at 402 home runs. At 32.
Super impressive.
Add another 7 years, 39. He could be, what would that be? So what? He's at 402. Add another 201, 603.
Something like that. I'll be honest, when you started saying numbers, I didn't stick them in my head.
Okay.
That space was still currently occupied by John's dick and baked beans. So when you started saying that, I just saw 400 John Holmes dicks.
Fluttering around.
Yeah.
And then you saw Northside Distilling also kind of floating around.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you got bonked on the head in a Looney Tune.
And then I heard a bomb go off in the back.
That is so... Okay, 50 isn't out of the stretch.
No, after seeing that, I thought he was more in like the low 30s a lot, which he was, and he was doing that early on.
Correct.
So the fact that he's 26 and hit 41 home runs, 50 is definitely, that's not a stretch.
I don't know. It's not a stretch. But the problem is he's going to a not as friendly park against lefties.
True.
So, for lefties. But Washington was a big ballpark. So what's interesting, big ballpark, Washington, 2021 year they won the World Series, 29 homers, 95 ribs. We could keep digging, but it's not worth anyone's time for us to keep digging and looking at projected homers.
Yeah, to prove to you that Juan Soto is a really good player.
To prove to you that he's worth $725 million. I just can't believe he's making more money than Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, that's really a lot to think about.
Like Shohei, look, I know, 15 years, $765 million is the final number. Shohei pitches, too, at an elite level, like Cy Young caliber level. And then also goes out and hits 50 homers and 50 stolen bases. And you're telling me he's worth less?
Well, it's a $700 million contract, and it's a third of, it's another 5 years. His is 10.
Yeah.
Juan Soto's was 15. So per year, whatever that is, 70.
Yeah, there you go. You found it. Well, also, don't forget, he's making $2 million a year over those 10 years. Doesn't that, he's like...
Deferring it.
It's okay. As we were talking about a luxury tax, that's the thing that pisses me off. They're going to find a way in that 2026 CBA to be like, fucking, you can only have there needs to be a set number of deferred money.
Yeah, I would like that too, because it's just another way of teams having access to these sorts of little ways to manipulate money that other small market teams don't.
They're paying in the luxury tax because it's all about your final numbers for that year.
Yeah.
And they don't have to pay tax on that number.
Which is terrible, because if the idea is to have, a complete, it's not going to be like a 1-to-1, but if you're transferring whatever that is for that year, for it to play into like what you're paying, if you're buying this, then this is going here. You can't defer that years later.
Right.
Because it defeats the purpose of helping out the current economy of baseball. It's just not, it's completely getting around what the purpose of the rule is supposed to be.
Right, because they don't give a fuck, and the whole thing is that they don't want to pay money. That's the beauty of baseball. Like I think I've said it before. I've heard from someone, a trusted source, that they used to pass around a belt for who had the most wins or went farthest. Like who had the most wins with spending the least amount of money, and they pass that around all president of baseball ops. And it was like a private boys club where it's like, hey, you spent $38 million. You spent like $89 million, and your team got to the ALCS. You get the belt for the year.
Yeah, it's a little upsetting.
It's extremely upsetting, but you know what? That's nothing we can do about it except just, bitch in the fart dunge and, I just thought about his dick again.
Yeah, it'll keep happening.
It'll keep happening. But yeah, I was a little shocked by the number and a couple of the things that were in that contract.
What were some of the things that shocked you that were in the contract?
0 deferred money to start, where Steve Cohen said, fuck off, I can afford to pay this luxury tax. I want to win right now. And the other thing is he gets 2 suites.
He gets 2 suites to himself?
Uh-huh.
Like in the actual clubhouse?
In the ballpark.
Woo! That's cool, man. That's baller shit.
That's pretty rad, isn't it?
Dude, do your thing. Get it, Juan.
Get it, Juan. Oh, dude. Who needs one suite when you can have 2?
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, is it the All-Star break? Because my swing is clocked it.
And my math is getting there. It took me a while to type in these numbers. $51 million a year for Juan Soto versus $70 million a year for Ohtani. At least that's the math, but that's not what's going to be on the books.
No, the math. So here's where it's also interesting. So here's the math. He can opt out after the 2029 season at age 30. Mm-hmm. And then if he opts out and then goes back, it adds $5 million each year to his contract. So it can be like $800 million.
Dang.
Yeah. Dude, full no trade clause. He got a $75 million signing bonus. the other thing, oh, dude, he's going to bank up. Listen to this shit. MVP bonuses. If he gets first place, he gets $500,000. And then if it's in the lifetime of that contract, if he wins more than one, it gets bumped up to $1 million. Second place, $350,000. Third to fifth place, $150,000. He's getting that money every year.
Yeah, he's going to be getting some of that money every year.
World Series MVP, $350,000. It's the Mets. That'll never happen. LCS MVP / Silver Slugger, $150,000. He's gonna get the Silver Slugger.
Seems
like
a little
every
low
year.
for winning a Silver Slugger.
It's kind of. I think it's more of an arbitrary.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They can't. It's just like other things within the bill that you're getting.
Oh, right. It's yeah. It's just like when you go to the Mexican restaurant and you order fajitas and you get extra tortillas. That they're charging you the $3.
Yeah, regardless if you're asking for it or not.
They're just going to throw it in and charge you. It's same with All-Star Game, dude. All-Star Gold Glove, Hank Aaron, All MLB, $100,000. So every year, he's going to get an extra $100,000 for going to the All-Star Game, and he'll be All MLB because of his bat. And then he gets 2 suites. So that was the hang up with the Yankees. Did you hear that shit?
2 suites?
Yeah. He was like, I want a suite at Yankee Stadium. And they said, no, go fuck yourself.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because they said Judge and Derek Jeter, the captain, they both pay for theirs.
Man, I don't know why the Yankees just got to be like that. You know, you're talking to you're trying to like sweeten the deal for these people to help you win a fucking World Series.
Yeah. You want to be the best you can be. Throw in the suite. You're already, and they lost by $5 million. They $760 million, but it was that. And then the other thing that was reported, which is crazy, is he was trying during when he was at Yankee Stadium, he had family come in, and they wouldn't let his family into certain parts of the ballpark.
Dude, I've heard some stories about that. Even coming from Ken Griffey Jr., some old stories about him not being treated well when his dad was playing.
Yeah, at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him sit in the dugout. They wouldn't let him be on the field to play catch.
That is just crazy. Just treating family like that.
No, it's old school baseball, man. That's the Steinbrenner way. No beards, you're shaving that shit. You can have a mustache, no long hair.
And be drunk by noon, for God's sake. You're a professional.
Why haven't you finished your 5th of gin yet, you coward?
Come on, hit a woman in left field. Pork somebody behind the wall.
Olives and oysters for lunch every day. Shit. I was just a little shocked by the number and some of the little incentive stuff, but when you look at the lineup, are you going to go man, this team can now beat the Dodgers to take the crown to be World Series champs?
I can see them being a really difficult opponent in any sort of series. I mean, 7 games is a bit of a stretch, but a 3-5 game series.
Yeah.
They have some serious athletes on there. I mean, I'm not sure they're going to keep Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
If that's going to happen. But they have Francisco Lindor, who is just he was great throughout. Well, he had a rough start of the season and then had this monstrous trajectory and kept that going throughout the playoffs.
Yeah. And then was just on a fucking tear. If it wasn't for Shohei Ohtani, he would have been the MVP. No doubt in my mind. But then you look around. Marte's your DH. You've got Soto in right. You've got Nimmo in left. I forget who's playing center. They've got really good pieces. But then you look at that rotation now. You have the back end of your bullpen set with Edwin Diaz. Done, game, set, match. We got that. That rotation, though, not that great. Where you've got Senga at the top, and then Daniel Peterson, and then you're like, who?
Frankie Montas.
Yeah, they signed him. Forgot about that.
Yeah, if he's going to be part of that 5, that's not really. I mean, stacking it up against the Dodgers, that's not great. So yeah, I mean, on paper, the Dodgers, and probably on the field too, Dodgers are going to be the better team. But in terms of a series, I think Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, they have some other big players that can still, Jeff McNeil maybe. No.
Jeff.
Yeah,
you're right. He'll be playing second.
Yeah, Starlin Marte. So they do have some good components to this team, but I mean the Dodgers are the team up top of the hill.
Yeah, and they're also taking a flyer on Clay Holmes. I forgot about that. 2 years, $23 million. They're moving him from the bullpen to the starting rotation. So there's your first immediate that's a risk. We'll see if it plays out. he might, who knows? He could have starter stuff. He could be the next Michael King. We'll see what happens. But if there's one thing when I look at the Mets, I go, your starting rotation ain't going to do it for me. And we'll have to also see what the Braves do. And the Phillies already made the move to go get Jordan Romano to help with that back end. And they can go out and sign some relievers. And the Phillies are still fucking stacked.
Yeah, they are.
So I'm not going to immediately put the Mets in that one hole. The Phillies are coming back angry and hungry.
Yeah, they were really let down after the playoffs. They felt they should have been the team to be in the World Series, and a lot of people, including the two of us, thought they'd make it there.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. So it's going to be, they're still going to be like one of the big guys that probably, I'm still projecting to make it to the World Series potentially.
Yeah, there's also a chance that they can trade for Luis Robert Jr. Mm-hmm. They're in the mix for that conversation. And they've got some guys down at the farm that they could move that are high level, top 50, top 25 prospects to get it done, where they're willing to make the move because they've got trading Dave Dombrowski, dude. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he's here to win a World Series.
They want to, ante up. They want to level up a little bit more and see what they can do to improve on last year and have a better season, have a better postseason 2025.
Yeah, the window's closing with Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos. They have, I think, 2 years left on their deals. They both signed 5-year $100 million deals. So some of that core is getting a little Bryson Stott, geez Louise. Brandon Marsh getting a little. I mean, there's some guys that aren't going to be there for the long haul where you're going to have to hit the reset button, and it's not this year. It's going to probably be the year after you have to hit the reset, do a quick little retool. But the Phillies are they're still going to be in it, man. The NL East looks pretty good, and the Nationals are young, and they're going to make some moves too. So you could have a very stacked division where the Marlins are just at the bottom of the ocean, dude, just drowning.
Don't worry, we got the caboose.
Don't worry,
we got it covered down here.
Yeah, well, we aren't going to surprise anybody. We're going to save money and build up prospects. Don't worry about us. We'll sneak up on you and have one really good year, win the World Series out of nowhere, then sell off again. Don't you worry. This is a Reds podcast, and we haven't really talked about them. It's been 46 minutes and 38 seconds, and we haven't, dug in. One thing that I've been watching so far this offseason, and it just pops up, especially with the winter meetings just happening, just Terry Francona talking.
Yeah, man.
Whew.
It's so cool. And, I still... because we're not watching baseball that much right now, it's not really in our faces. I still will have times where it's we have Terry Francona. Because it'll just slip my mind, like a can of baked beans, where I just forget about it for a minute, and then it pops back in there, and I'm like, yeah!
Oh my God!
I'm blinded.
I'm thinking about Northside Distilling again.
Yeah, so I am so stoked. And yeah, just having him to be able to just talk so much about baseball, all these, this baseball fodder he's going to have is going to be much different than our last manager, where he was just very much didn't really converse too much. There wasn't a lot of good stories, good baseball chatter coming out of that man. So I'm really excited for Terry.
And just the accountability immediately, you hear it in Terry's voice where he's just so this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it, without really telling you a plan, just saying we're going to do this. We're going to do this. This is how it's done. I'm gassed up because he's, like he said, baseball stories, been around the block. That's what this team's needed. It hasn't needed a manager who got hired in 2019 who's still trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. They need a strong leader, strong voice, someone who's going to hold people accountable. And you hear it, dude. He's when he talked about it, he's just one of the things that's, you go into spring training talking about fielding, taking that and being this, we're really going to focus on it. Well, my job is to remind them to do that every day. And I was all gassed up, dude. I stood up from my desk and I went, "That's right, fucking Terry."
Dude, I love it. He just has so many lines. It's that's a good baseball line. Oh, that's a good coaching line. You can post that on your little Facebook wall. It's read that.
Yeah.
Feel something.
This is my manager.
So I think he's doing going to do so well, like relating to and talking, communicating with all these young players. But just as hearing him speak, just getting to hear all his vast knowledge about the sport is super entertaining in and of itself.
He already flew down to Dominican to meet with Ellie, to go meet with Candelaria, to go meet with a bunch of the dudes. He flew down to Texas to meet with Lodolo and Abbott. Like, he's taken the time to be like, I need to go meet and I need to go talk with everybody. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, imagine you're just at home, you hear ding dong. Spencer Steer gets up from the couch and he opens the door and it's just Terry like, let's chat. And you're like, holy shit, my Tuesday got awesome.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind. I parked my scooter on the front lawn. We're going to be doing some grounding out here. Earthing.
We're going to be earthing. And yeah, sorry about that divot. The kickstand just flew right out from under me.
Oh, I love it, man.
Dude. And you know what? He's probably going to live at the Banks. He ain't going to need a scooter, which is going to break my heart.
Yeah. He might do something else. He could get into rollerblading. He could start doing something else. You know, Terry being Terry.
Terry on a one wheel, just going through the streets. Or he lives in Mount Adams and still needs a scooter.
True.
Who knows? I'm going to keep my eyes peeled, dude.
You're going to see like a silver luge going down a hill. That's Terry, baby.
It's Terry, dude. Terry's in one of them Red Bull soapbox cars.
Yeah, he is. He's about ready to sweep the Cardinals. That's what he's about ready to do.
Just sweep the Cardinals and sweep the knees. Oh, dude. So yeah, I'm just gassed up, and every time he talks, I just get more excited for the 2025 season where the Reds take the NL Central. Maybe we'll talk about that later. The inevitable happened. The Reds also traded Jonathan India to the Royals. Threw a little Weimer on there too. For Brady Singer. Hyped.
I'm pretty stoked about it. Granted, I am sad to see Jonathan India go. I'm glad that we got to have him here as a Red. Seeing that his rookie season where he won Rookie of the Year was super cool. This is an example of a trade that I think will work well for both teams.
Yeah.
We each are, like Kansas City had some bad numbers as far as offensive-wise goes for second base. And we needed a bit more backing in the pitching. And as far as length goes, he was Hunter was throwing like 150, or no, who am I talking about? Brady Singer. Yeah. He's going to have length. So I'm excited about that. And hopefully Jonathan India, I think, will be a good piece for Kansas City.
Kansas City also needed a leadoff hitter. They were one of the worst in baseball with OPS in a leadoff spot. Jonathan India is going to do that for him. And with the Reds, you can have a bevy of guys that can lead off. You could realistically have Matt McLain lead off.
Yeah, and I know the issues last year were mostly offensive. There were some pitching struggles, injuries, not being able to have guys go a lot of length. But offensively, we're going to have guys back that we didn't have previously that were out. Matt McLain, hopefully Jamer Candelario will be healthy. CES, who is gone for 2/3 of the season, something like that. So hopefully a lot of these guys that are going to be in the infield will be covering for Jonathan India's bat.
Last time I checked, Candyman was just mashing down in the Dominican Winter League, dude. Already hit a couple dongs. He's hitting like 290.
I just saw that he may have re-aggravated something.
Son of a bitch, really?
I think maybe his toe or something. He was coming out of the box, looked like he tweaked it.
Oh, no.
I believe I saw that yesterday, but I didn't look back into it.
You're right. Yeah. Damn. That sucks. He left with, exit game. This is from Red Leg Nation. So thank you. Would exit the game for a pinch runner. He lunged to the bag in his final stride and seemed to land a bit awkwardly.
Really?
Oh boy. The reaction wasn't one of pure agony or pain, which is probably good, but he certainly felt something.
Interesting, because I saw him running out of the box and it looked odd. So I'm not... But yeah, so hopefully that isn't anything terrible. But I think Jonathan India is going to be great for Kansas City. And hopefully these guys that we didn't have a ton of games or playing time will more than make up for that.
Yeah. Like you said with Brady Singer, 179 innings and 2/3 in 2024. Do you know who the last Reds pitcher was to pitch over 170 innings?
Bronson Arroyo?
Negative. Johnny Cueto.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
So think about how long that's been. A decade. A decade.
And thinking about with how pitchers are being used currently and the amount of guys that had to step in and fill roles, although they did it very well last year, having guys that can get to that length of 150, that is such a positive thing. That's a huge ability, is durability.
Right, because you look at it, Hunter Green, 150 and a third innings pitched last year. Andrew Abbott, 138 innings pitched. Nick Lodolo, 115 and a third innings pitched. Frankie Montes, 93 and a third, but then he got moved. Graham Ashcraft, 77 and a third. But then right underneath there, Nick Martinez, between the bullpen and the rotation, 142 and a third innings pitched. So swap out Frankie and you put in Nick. You swap out Ashcraft and you put in Singer. What'll be interesting, so there's your 5, and then your 6 is Rhett Lauder. Mm-hmm. One thing that is really reassuring that's something that Terry's talked about and DJ has said is by opening day, these guys are going to be ready to be they're going to be at 100 pitches.
I like that.
That's huge. One of the things that they said, basically their exit interview, was durability is also a skill set, which is something that we've talked about. This rotation, with all of the talent that it has, that is its biggest problem, has been being able to do a full season. Mm-hmm. I mean, you saw it with Abbott. We love the dude to death, but by the end of the season, his arm's toast.
Yeah, and then it has an effect on the bullpen that is generally doing pretty well to start off with, and all of a sudden they have to carry a lot more of the load, and then they get winded, tired, and then we start to drop, 2 out of 3 games in a series. So this is where this is such a huge, component to be able to keep everything in a line and just have a guy that also is a pitch to contact guy, which is also probably a big reason as to why he's able to rack up so many innings.
Yeah.
So this is such a good thing for the Reds starting rotation that was not completely, but you can just see the numbers here is just where they just weren't anywhere close to that.
Yeah. Every 5th day, you're going to say Brady Singer is definitely pitching. He's definitely going to be out there. That's exactly what they need. And when you said weak contact is huge too, I mean, just a sinker slider guy with a 4-seamer he didn't use very often. I think last year, according to Baseball Savant, he used his 4-seamer 11% of the time. Sinker, slider, sinker 41%, slider 40%, sweeper 5%. I guarantee you that number is going to increase and his sweeper is going to get better under the tutelage of DJ.
Yeah.
He's had the stuff for years. The problem has just been consistency for him.
Okay.
One thing that also worries me about him is moving from a pitcher-friendly park in Kansas City to the bandbox. I wouldn't be shocked if next year he's hovering around 4. He's going to see if he has, I think a successful year for him will be around 4.1. 4.10 ERA.
About there.
About around there.
Walmart, definitely.
Definitely, because then he's... But, I mean, again, with the way that his arsenal is set up with sinker slider, you hope that maybe that maintains, but just GABP in July and August. We all know how it works, dude.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he's going to drop some of these pitches. He kind of lives up in the zone with these breaking pitches and is maybe getting like weak contact and people trying to overextend, but I'm not sure how much of that's going to translate to GABP.
Yeah, interesting you brought up his extension. He's in the 97th percentile in extension. He hides that ball in his hand and releases it really well. So that's going to be a good thing. I mean, I just think DJ is going to just give him the right tweaks and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, he was a Zen master last year. I feel like every time he went out on the mound to calm down, a pitcher, they would just get, oh yeah, I'll just throw strikes. That makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Okay, got it. Yeah, I'll clear my head and do that. And then with Nick Martinez signing the qualifying offer for $21 million, and you're looking at what the rest of the market has been doing with starting pitching, like including Blake Snell with that 5-year, $162 million deal. Like, these are quality arms at a really good price for this club.
Yeah, and I remember when we were convinced Nick Martinez wasn't going to sign with the Reds just because of what was potentially out there for him and the fact that he's going to be back with the ball club and another quality, durable arm, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel real good.
It makes me feel good. And then another arm they were in the hunt for that was reported was Garrett Crochet. I wasn't so high on it just because, you get 2 years of him. and looking at what the Red Sox gave up. The Red Sox gave up a top 25 prospect, the best catching prospect in all of baseball. They gave up 2 top 25 prospects and then 2 top 25 prospects within the Red Sox organization. The Reds' commodity isn't cash like the Red Sox have. The Red Sox have cash and they have prospects, and they use their prospects to go get Garrett Crochet. Our only resource is prospects. And if we were to move for a starting pitcher, I feel like you're doing too much.
Yeah, that was a little too rich for my blood, and a name like that, I would rather have that be an offensive person that we're going to, let's push some chips in. I would much rather that be for a legit big bat outfielder as opposed to a quality pitcher, which I would, again, really love a quality pitcher to get that guy. But knowing just how cash strapped this organization is and how we do have a lot of prospects, but I think that would have been a little too much for us to justify that.
I couldn't agree with you more. It would have been just because we now can see what the problem is that's left. It's setup guy / high leverage reliever because you lost Justin Wilson. Awesome. And Buck Farmer. They haven't I don't think they've re-signed or brought back Buck Farmer yet on a deal. I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't and then spent some of that money to go get I just went to Google and I put in Buck Farmer contact info. And I don't need that. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't really want to reach out to you.
I'll send it to you.
Oh, thanks, man. If you could do that, that'd be wonderful. Contract. Okay. And yeah, he's still a free agent.
Yeah, if we were going to spend any more money on pitching at this point, like spending any big money, I would definitely spread it around to the bullpen a bit for the setup arms.
Yeah. Because you don't want to bank on Ashcraft being a success immediately in the bullpen. I like Zach Maxwell a lot, who's down in Louisville. I think he could have a really good run at it at spring training. But those aren't guarantees. I need a vet. I need at least one more vet, and then maybe you could split it up between Ashcraft and somebody else. But
I like Ashcraft coming out of the bullpen.
I love that, dude.
He's got intensity. He might be effectively wild more effectively from the bullpen.
Yeah, he always gave you a solid 3 innings.
Yeah.
And so I don't see, and then eventually he just got figured out because he's just fastball slider.
Yeah, and he was kind of getting a little flat there, but yeah, he got figured out and didn't really make the proper adjustments in a good direction.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the stuff. It's just, let's make it shorter. And there's nothing wrong with, you know what? We tried it. Your body betrayed you. So you are now a reliever, and that's just how that's going to go. But I'm still, I need, it sucks that Blake Triton got signed for 2 years, $22 million to the Dodgers. Probably $21 million of it's deferred, but that was a guy I really wanted to. There's still a lot of free agent reliever arms that are available. That'll start to shake out in January. We'll see where that lands. But when you look at that rotation, you added Crochet. It's like then you're bumping out. Who are you bumping out? Abbott? Or are you bumping out?
That's the thing. You're creating more problems. Like you have a good problem, but you're creating more issues that you don't really have the time of money or luxury to really tackle that, as opposed to these other more important situations. So yeah, you'd be bumping out some other quality starters.
Yep. Speaking of quality, in the Rule 5 draft, the Reds picked up Cooper Bowman from the A's. The rundown from Eric Logenhagen of Fangraphs, friend of the pod, said Bowman plays solid defense at both second and in center field, which gives him valuable versatility. And he's a good base runner, swiping 43 bags in 49 attempts last season. He's performed like a roughly average contact hitter with below average power, sufficient for a lower impact utility role. That sounds like the perfect fit for the Reds.
Yeah, we had a few of those guys still in the organization, and that was kind of supposed to be the role that honestly India was supposed to play last year, of being a guy that would be a good DH backup player for anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we have a lot of athletes and utility guys in the Reds organization, so I think he'd fit in well.
Yeah, he's going to fit in right behind the bench with Santiago Espinal and Stuart Fairchild. He's a guy that can play a fast center field. fast on the base paths, also can play second base. Great. He sounds like someone that fills a need that's going to have to be on the major league roster that you're going to be paying like nothing.
Yeah, you're not going to blow the bank on him, but he's a stop back for when you need to have somebody out there that has a sure glove and isn't an idiot in the box.
Yeah, right. And just decent contact. That's literally, that sounds like what the Reds target all the time. Decent contact. So we'll see. I'm not like, woo, yeah, Cooper Bowman. I'm like, okay, that's where Nick Krall's strengths are. Is just finding just a upgrade in the rough.
Just a teeny little bit.
Let's take a look at what the rest of the division did.
Cool.
We'll just start with the Pirates. They traded Luis Ortiz to Cleveland for Spencer Horwitz. So now they have a first baseman with Spencer Horwitz, Nicky, and then I forget who's at second. Not Nicky Lopez.
Who's at first?
Nick Gonzalez.
Sorry.
I got you. That was pretty good. Yeah. It was pretty good. No, you should have made that
If
joke.
I wasn't going to say it, somebody who was listening would say it.
Someone in the car's like, who's up first? So they figured out their first base problem. Are they going to do anything else? I don't think so.
Yeah, so I'm stoked for that.
I am too.
I don't want to see them getting better. I don't like that Paul Skeens is just a phenomenal athlete, other than just getting to see him. Hopefully, every so often, and he's doing great, but we're still, beating them in series because they suck ace.
I mean, they still have that three-headed monster of Mitch Keller, Spencer Jones, and Paul Skeens. I still don't want to see that 3 days out of the week.
Yeah.
I really don't. So, but I don't think they're going to do anything else. They still have Bednar. They'll be the same 74 to 75 win team. Unless they do something drastic or O'Neal Cruz takes a big step and Key Brian Hayes figures out how to fucking hit the baseball.
Yeah, definitely still not a team that you don't want to underestimate, because how many times have we seen the Reds, go into a series against a team they are better than, and then they just get shellacked or something.
They just get fucked.
Yeah, so, nothing really much to report on the Pirates.
No. Brewers traded Devin Williams, the airbender, to the Yankees for Nestor Cortez and Caleb Durbin. When you look at it on the base level, you're like, oh my God, the Brewers traded Devin. They did that. They pulled a Josh Hader. They moved him with 1 year left for 1 year of Nestor Cortez, and then pre-arb with Caleb Durbin, who's a guy that can slide right into second base, and next thing you know, it's another goddamn Joey Ortiz situation, and he's above average player in a lineup where the team just fucking hits, and they're just the fucking Brewers.
They're a machine.
They're a machine, and I hate it.
I can totally see Nestor Cortez wearing a Brewers jersey.
Dude, I can see him hanging out at Bernie's Chalet, dude. He's going down the slide.
Yeah, he is. Do you think he's going to shave that mustache?
Fuck no. He's keeping that thing. Him and Bernie are they're going to look like yin and yang.
Yeah, I just wasn't quite sure after he gave up whatever home run that was in playoffs when he had his jaw hanging open. That's that face I remember of him. So I wasn't quite sure. So I need to get this thing off of me here.
Or he's gone the complete opposite route and he's got like the Forrest Gump giant running America beard going on. Because now he can do it. He's out of the Steinbrenner system.
Yeah, let it happen.
Let it rip, dude.
Let that freak flag fly on your lip.
He comes out and it's got like biker braids in it with iron crosses and shit. You're like, what happened? He's like, the Dodgers happened.
Oh my God.
It's like, Nestor, are you okay? Milwaukee.
Got extensions in his mustache.
Yeah. Well, I haven't talked to Wheelo about this, but Trevor Miguel's now their new closer, and he's got fucking gas. I mean, we saw him last year out of their bullpen. Hits 100, 101, 102, has a changeup and a sweeper. They're just going to keep brewering.
Yeah, man, that's upsetting. I don't like it. It makes me very angry already. But I just really hope the Reds are going to put together a nice club, get all the stuff figured out. Hopefully everyone does well and doesn't get bit by the injury bug, so we can have like an intact Reds group that can actually give them a good competition here.
Would be great. Okay, now let's feel a little bit better. Okay, we just got mad about the Brewers. Let's feel a lot better. Cardinals, they aren't rebuilding, they're retooling. How dangerous is that sentence?
Yeah, that's not fun. You never want to hear that. We've heard that before.
You know what? It only took a year, though. Well, yeah, a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 23 was fun, 24 was frustrating, but here's the thing. They're retooling. They brought in Chaim Bloom, the orchestrator of the Red Sox quiet rebuild, where he built that farm system to be a top 5 farm system. He had to trade Mookie Betts. He got he got shafted, dude. But he built something.
Yeah.
And also coming from the Tampa Bay system and now just sliding into St. Louis, they're going to trade Nolan Arenado. They let Paul Goldschmidt walk. So they are not going to be very good next year.
No, they won't. And so this will probably be like the calm before the storm here. So, and again, going back to what we were talking about most of last season, that window of opportunity. You can see how it's getting a little tighter. Well, besides the Cardinals, that opened it up a little bit more. But with all these other players they're going to be having coming in later, this is going to be a down year for them coming up. But I don't expect that to be the same case 2 seasons from now.
I don't either. I don't, and I see them seeing that their path, and then they're going to spend again. Because remember, they tried to spend last year. They tried to and brought in Sonny Gray. They brought in Lance Lynn. They brought in Kyle Gibson. They're like, we're going to bring in dependable, reliable 4.5 ERA arms, and then we're also going to have the Lamborghini of Sonny Gray. And it didn't work out for him.
No.
It did not. Paul Goldschmidt had a down year. Nolan Arenado had a down year. So this is their retool. And yeah, you're right, dude. Like 2025 is the year where you're not writing off the Cardinals, but you're looking at them and you go, they're making something nasty in that cauldron, in that awful St. Louis devil magic.
Yeah, they got their sights a bit further down this upcoming season. So we'll enjoy it now because it's going to get a lot more competitive years to come.
Yeah, a lot more competitive. It's time to talk about it. The Cubs.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, fuck. Kyle Tucker. He's really good at baseball.
Legit superstar.
Legit. You saw it from Marquee Network. They tweeted it and put it out. They put Kyle Tucker and Juan Soto's numbers next to each other. Their averages of 162 since 2021. Kyle Tucker, 35 home runs. Juan Soto, 34. Kyle Tucker, extra base hit, 73. Juan Soto, extra base hit, 64. Slugging percentage, Kyle Tucker, 527. Juan Soto, 520. B-WAR, Kyle Tucker, 6.5. Soto, 6.8. And they've got him for a year in a small park in Wrigley, playing right field. Fuck.
I think he's going to have fun.
I think he's going to have a really good year.
He's going to show off, try to raise, his price a bit, and just enjoy Wrigleyville. I don't like it, but I'm sure Cubs fans will.
Oh, Tucker hardly knew her.
Hey.
I fucking hate it. But I'm very happy for our friends in Chicago because the Cubs are finally acting like the Cubs. They didn't spend, but what they did is they flipped Isak Paredes and they flipped Wisniewski, and I forget who else they flipped off the top of my head to go and get a fucking superstar. That's what they needed to do.
Yeah, and they also have money. They have ways and means. So this is a big market adding a big market piece.
Whoa. They have money?
They have money.
They have money? The Ricketts don't want you to know that. The Ricketts don't want anybody to know that they have the money, that they can go do this stuff. And then they got rid of Bellinger. They got him off the books to go make another move.
Yeah, they're making it happen.
Dude, why weren't the Reds in that conversation?
Man, I don't know. And you don't know all the conversations that you aren't hearing, and just knowing maybe how close we could have gotten to some players. But that's the thing. We hear that all the time, like, oh, we were so close.
We were close.
Getting that player. Oh, we're so close. We're always so close getting the playoffs, too. So it's one of those things.
It's one of those things you're like, really? When is it going to be like, oh, we did it?
Yeah.
Well, we did it. We pulled the trigger. We put our fucking nuts on the table and did it because the Cubs just did it. They traded a really good third baseman who could also play first. So we'll see if they're going to bring the Astros bring Bregman back. I don't think they will, but they threw their nuts on the table and said, at least for 1 year, we're going to go for it with this crew. And who knows? They could also bring in a Corbin Burns.
Yeah, they might not be done.
They're not done, especially getting that 25 and then 27 million bucks off the books, which they pay each year. They're paying 2.5 million each year. So it's like realistically 20, so 25, 20, 22 and a half. and then 23 and a half or whatever that math is off the top of my head at 9:40 at night. So they got salary relief. They're paying a little bit, but fuck, Reds had that cash.
Maybe,
and also they probably didn't want to trade him in division.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. God, if we would have got him, that would have been unreal. That would have been the big piece. But there's still options out there for the Reds. However, I mean, hopefully this is just more incentive for the front office to say, like, hey, we gotta combat this. We gotta do something. We gotta level up as well.
Yeah, you can't say that Terry Francona plus Singer is enough to put you over the top.
No, and I don't believe Terry Francona would approve of just that amount of effort that they put in so far. I really, really hope that they have more plans and stuff in place where, like, we need to make X, Y, and Z happen before the start of the season.
Well, and you also know, not just the Bellinger conversation, the Kyle Tucker conversation, you knew the Reds weren't going to be in on that. With how conservative they are with their prospects. And then saying 1 year of Kyle Tucker.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't have, there's no way that Krall would have done that.
No, they don't burn money that quickly, even if it is for a nice return. But still, a lot of money like that for 1 year, that's not the Reds.
Bro, it's not even you're burning money. You're saying, you look at that and you go, okay, so they gave up an everyday third baseman who has, like, I think 3 years left with Arb. They gave, or maybe 2. And then they gave up Wesneski, a young pitcher they got from the Yankees who has 4 years left probably, and another prospect. So you're thinking everyday player, you're giving up, you're probably going to have to give up like Marte, who's had a down year. You're going to have to give up Marte, Rhett Lauder, and somebody else for 1 year of Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, not worth it.
No, especially when Nick Krall's been like, there's no peaks and valleys, we're just consistency. That's a peak move going. That's going to throw us over the top. Is this going to throw the Cubs over the top for you? Like, does this make them immediate, like, man, I got to put them on paper. They could be going back to the World Series with this team.
No, but I do think they could be a pesky team to play in the Central.
Yeah.
So I think they could cut into our wins.
Yeah. I could see that it escalates. Their wins increase, and you can get Brewers Cubs into the playoffs.
It's possible.
That's how I see it because of just that offensive input. I mean, that's bonkers numbers right there. The guy had a 180 OPS plus last year with Houston in half a season.
Yeah, man. He's had a handful of 100 RBI seasons. He's like no joke. He's definitely going to be a big shot in the arm for the Cubs.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. So I just want to see the Reds also act accordingly here and try to like offset some of those numbers.
It's hard to offset someone who's got the same numbers as Juan Soto.
Really does.
But you know what does help is you moneyball it, put him in the aggregate, right? And create a player that's similar to that, which leads to my next question. What do the Reds need to do to take the division this year? On top of that, what else do they need to do to make it a successful offseason? We've already determined that this is not enough, and considering what the rest of not the rest of the division, the cream of the crop of the division has done.
Okay. First, what do the Reds need to do for the division this year to take it on? Be healthy.
Yeah.
And just gel with Terry. Hang out with him, stay healthy, listen to him, and I believe that will create a nice camaraderie and a new sort of, having everybody together healthy and really feeling like a competitive ball team. What they need to do to be successful for this offseason, they still need to make that big bang, drop some money, do what you got to do with certain prospects, and get a legit bat that is still available that's an outfielder.
Yeah.
A Teoscar Hernandez signing. I think that would be something that would move the needle drastically for me.
You combine what Teoscar did last year with getting Matt McClain back and a full healthy season of TJ Friel. That offsets what happens when Kyle Tucker dons the Cubs uniform.
Absolutely. Looking at the WAR that TJ and Matt McClain provide, just the two of them, and then add on a Teoscar Hernandez, that's a huge jump. That's a lot more runs. That's a lot more wins. The amount of just close games the Reds had last year, you can start counting on your hands the wins you will add by having healthy guys as well as another legit bat.
Yeah, 2023. Healthy Matt McClain until the last month of the season. Healthy TJ Friel was 7.5 wins. You add that in there with a Teoscar Hernandez who was worth 3.8, 3.9 WAR last year, who will bring the thunder at Great American Ballpark.
And a guy that played was over 150 games.
155 games last year.
Durability.
That's the other thing, durability. You can depend that Teoscar Hernandez is going to play every day in right field. It's going to be 3 years. It's going to be $75 million. Probably going to have to escalate that to $85 million if you get into a bidding war with other people. It's time to use that other resource that is a finite amount for the Reds, which is money, and bring this guy in to be dependable every single day and hit homers. The numbers are gonna increase because it's the Great American Small Park.
Yeah, you would imagine his offensive numbers are gonna be better, if he does play at Great American Ballpark for his home games. And I just really think there is just dwindling amount of options right now. So I really, really would love to see the Reds make a move ASAP.
Dude, okay, you ready for this?
Lay it on me, brother.
I can give you those numbers. You ready? Are you ready? 2024. If Teoscar Hernandez played all of his games at Great American Ballpark, he would have had 43 homers. 2023, again, in 2023, playing in Seattle, 40 home runs.
Bananas. That is
40.
Those are the numbers that we keep talking about. We need to have a guy, a legit, that can hit 40 home runs this season, that has a good on base percentage, or we could ever just drive in the runs. That's what we're looking for.
Not someone that we hope could.
Yeah.
Possibly can. We'll see how they develop. No, I want someone that we know hits home runs.
Proven commodity.
And you whip out the pocketbook, you undo the money clip, you go, all right, how much? Okay, great. Here you go, because you got to top that.
And he's worth it.
He's worth it. And you're playing, dude, here you're going, and this is your window, because you're going up against the clock when you have Ellie on your team pre-ARB. Matt McLean, pre-ARB. You've got these guys super cheap, so spend it now, so that way you have the leg up on someone like the Mets, who spend more money than God, and the Dodgers, who hide more money than God.
It's not going to get any more flexible for you.
No. This is the window. It's open. Now slam it open and break the clips off the top of the window where you go, I didn't mean to open it that hard. Son of a bitch. All right.
Well, it's open for a while. We're not clipping it back on.
Well, hopefully the cats don't come over here, because they're getting out. And we want the cats out of the bag, and we need the Reds to sign Teoscar. A suitable... The other thing, too, people floated around was Michael Conforto. So glad he signed with the Dodgers, because that would have just been a fucking piss-pants move.
Well, can I ask you the same questions? I know we're kind of doing it. Like, what do you think the Reds got to do to win the division, and then what do they got to do to be successful before?
You need to sign Teoscar Hernandez. You need to trade for a bat that is equal amount value of WAR and offensive production. If they go out and you get Lou Bob, you get on him for a couple years, but again, we've talked about it before, is just the injury history scares the piss out of me. And I don't want him to be hanging out on Club IL like Mike Moustakas was.
Yeah, and again, with all the injuries that we saw with the Reds last year, just being a durable player is its own value set in itself.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Now, don't get it twisted. I would like if they don't sign Teoscar, again, you can throw him in the aggregate, and you can go and get which you already have that with Will Benson and Jake Fraley, which neither of them can hit lefties, and then you're stuck with Stuart Fairchild, and you move TJ Friel to right field. I don't like that. You need to have that power, so you have to go get either a power hitting center fielder, put Luis Robert in center, and hope he doesn't hang out on Club IL. You go and sign Teoscar Hernandez if he doesn't sign with the Yankees or the Dodgers again or somebody else, and or maybe Conforto plays right. But you've got to sign someone who hits dongs. I mean, if I take a flyer on Eloy Jimenez, hopefully he stays healthy if Teoscar signs, and then you take a flyer on Eloy and you take a flyer on Jock Peterson. Those are your two dudes that can produce, who can hit dongs. Eloy, if he can stay healthy, but he hasn't shown that in his career, and Jock Peterson would hit 35 home runs in Great American Ballpark. I'll never forget being at that home run derby and watching him spray.
Yeah?
I was like, this guy would murder here. Good Jewish boy just putting balls in the river.
For everybody.
For everybody. He's just giving them away. So, that, and then you need to sign another veteran reliever. I would like to see them go and sign Kendall Graveman. And then I think you're in a really good spot.
Yeah.
But if you don't address right field and you don't fix it, then you have failed this offseason.
I 100% agree. It was a glaring issue the entirety of last season. And again, just going over similar errors of not fixing the same problems. And if it happens again, after they go out and do something amazing like getting Terry Francona, I am just, again, at a loss where they're just, are you teasing us? Are you just messing around with us?
Yeah, you fucking with me?
Yeah, I don't like all the edging here. Eventually, to get back to the grass conversation, I want to plow, baby.
I want to plow. Give it to me. You're looking okay, dude. OPS plus. Jake Fraley last season, 95. Okay? Will Benson, OPS plus, 76. Both a below average fucking OPS. Below average ball players at the dish. That's bad. You like fucking... You can't.
It throws things off, and when you have good play, when you have holes in your lineup, they pitch around the good players, and they get to these players that just kill innings.
Yeah, kill them. Killing it's just So I don't care. Trade. For the White Sox, you're gonna trade Lou Bob. I hate doing it. You're giving them. You're giving them Chase Petty. You're giving them CES. You might even have to throw somebody else in, too. I'm not throwing in Sal Stewart. I'll throw somebody else lower along the lines in around Hector Rodriguez.
Okay.
And I'm getting Lou Bob. As much as I don't want it, and I'm afraid, I feel like that is the comp.
Yeah, you're going to have to give a little to get some. So it's like a potluck, baby.
It's a pot fuck, baby. You got to get it in. Get it in while you can.
Yeah. So if we sign a Teoscar Hernandez, I'd be very tickled and I'd be so stoked. If we don't do that, I'd be very much upset.
Yep.
But we need to have a for sure top tier big bat signing for the outfield.
100%. You got a gluttony of infield prospects and in the majors. So get it done.
Yeah, we can't hold on to all of them.
Can't hold on to all of them because the only position where I'm cool with hoping that's going to rebound next year, and I'm holding on hope, and I'm giving them the full year, and I'm not letting them leave that position, is Marte at third.
He had such a sweet swing when it was working. So I would really love to see how he develops through a full, off season, playing, not halfway through and just jumping into the majors. So yeah, I'd love to see him develop more.
Supposedly he's still looking lost down in the Dominican, but who knows? He could find something, He could find something the next month,
Yeah, it could be a quick fix. Maybe he just needs to talk to Terry for a little bit.
Yeah, or you know what? You could also, in retrospect of what I said, I said put it all on the line, put him at third. I'm immediately backtracking that. You could also put him in AAA if he doesn't have a good spring training, and you have Candyman at third and CES at first.
There's ways. We have multiple ways to deal with it because we have a lot of infielders.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what you could also do? That'd be pretty cool. You could sign Paul Goldschmidt on a pillow contract.
Yeah?
Why not, dude? Not my fucking money.
Yeah, I don't care. Sign everybody.
Sign them all, dude. Yeah. You know what? We should probably just trade for Juan Soto.
Trade for Juan Soto. Steal a bunch of stuff from other stadiums. Just take whatever. I don't really care.
Dude, you know what? I got a plan. Mm-hmm. You know what? We're going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, we are. Look out. We're going to steal the Roberto Clemente statue.
Yeah. Oh my God. I have the flight logs. I bought them on Fanatics. They're authenticated from when he crashed his plane.
Oh my God. Coming for you, bust of Babe Ruth.
Have you seen that asshole? I forget. He's like that guy who, always has the crazy memorabilia. He's like this tall. He's got he's probably late 50s. He's got that long nose. And he's like, we have the Shohei Ohtani 50 home run ball. I got it authenticated. That guy. I bet he's probably got that shady shit where he's like, I have the Greenies bottle that the 1976 Reds all split in the dugout between Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, and Joe Morgan.
I have some fossilized Shotzi shit.
I have the needle that Jose Canseco stuck in Pudge Rodriguez's ass from Texas Stadium in 1994.
I have the rolled up hotel thing that Daryl Strawberry used to use to snort, his drug of choice.
Yeah, his drug of choice. Tijuana and Christmas.
That's what it was. The Tijuana Christmas.
Tijuana Christmas. Dude. Yeah, I'm just like, someone who hoards that much baseball memorabilia. Why, dude? We get it. you have a ton of shit. You look crazy.
Yeah, and also a lot of this is for kids. When you collect like all the bobbleheads, when you see those guys walking around with like duffel bags of like 20 things, like those are children's toys.
Yeah.
And there's kids walking around here that didn't get that because they didn't get here 3 hours before the game like some psychopath did.
Yeah, because you've had this on the calendar since launch day of the promotional calendar. So let's run third and head for home.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All
okay,
right.
What do you got coming up?
This Friday and Saturday, I will be at the Funny Bone, Liberty Funny Bone. Check that out. I'll be there with Chris Porter. Alex Price is going to be featuring. It's going to be a fun one. So that's going to be the 20th and 21st at Liberty Funny Bone. Check it out.
That's a great lineup.
Yeah, it should be pretty fun.
Chris is great. I worked with him when he was at Bananas.
I worked with him years ago, like when I first started.
Oh, there we go.
I think it was like my third host week.
Yeah, he was like my third or fourth too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
Dude,
great.
he's the man. He's the best.
What you got?
Friday, 9:30, Commonwealth Sanctuary. Garrett Teitelbaum's World's Greatest Comedian. I'm defending my title. And guess what? I'm going to keep defending it into January. You should come out and see me whoop up on Gabby Lowry and see me whoop up on John Holmes in my own comedic freestylings.
You gotta bring that brick. I'm fucking done. I can't bring that big can of baked beans.
Oh my god,
there was so many bees in that.
Oh my god, I'm gonna tell that story on stage. It's like something interesting about you. Something interesting about me is John Holmes sent me a dick pic next to a can of beans. Sorry, Franks and Beans.
Yeah, Franks and Beans was the title of that post.
Yeah, Franks and Beans, dude. Franks and Beans and his Frank. Right there. Fucking So thanks to Sports Drink for hosting the audio of this podcast. They are a coffee shop in New Orleans that became a comedy club. So that's something. Check it out. What else? So that's I think that's it. Thanks for having me in the Fart Dungeon. It's good to be back.
Yeah, glad to have you back, buddy. It's been a little bit.
It's been a little bit. If something happens, we'll come back. But if not, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year's, all the good stuff.
Happy Boxing Day.
Oh, Happy Boxing Day. And thank you for watching and or listening. And as always, go Red Legs.
Go Red Legs.